Good morning, everyone. It is Weather with Sim again. I hope you guys are all having a great day so far. And in today's video, we're first going to be looking at the threat for severe storms today. And the reason why I wanted to show you guys this is because this is massive, okay? This is a massive severe weather threat, as you guys can see. And then we'll be going over your March forecast after we quickly show you guys this severe weather threat, okay? So let's go ahead and first start off with the severe weather threat, like I said, and this is massive, okay? This heads from northern Georgia all the way into Canada, right near Vermont. Do you just see that arrow right there? That means it heads all the way up into Canada. That is just crazy, guys. And so lots of populated areas like Raleigh, Charlotte, even Chattanooga, even Roanoke, Charleston, almost Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Washington, Philadelphia, heading into, let's see, Albany, New York, and then even up there towards Burlington are all included in this massive marginal risk that is pretty widespread across the eastern United States. And then we got that general risk around that does head into the Ohio Valley. So still, a few storms might be possible across the Ohio Valley, but we're mainly watching this area right here. So for your tornado threat, as you can see, you have a small 2% chance of a tornado compared to the rest of the marginal risk. And this only includes Charleston heading down there towards Nashville, but places like Pikeville, Kentucky might be included in this too as well. So quite some smaller populated areas in this 2%. So if you do live in Charleston, which is more than likely the most populated city in this 2%, make sure to be weather aware. So make sure to do kind of take this serious a little bit if you do live in this 2% risk. And then if you look at your wind threat, this is going to be the main concern today, because you see it does include the entire marginal risk for severe storms today. And so this is definitely going to be a pretty big risk, won't it? And then as you see, no hail threat. So main concern will be damaging winds, but there'll also be a small area that could see some tornadoes. Now let's go ahead and go over your guys' March forecast, okay? We're first going to be starting off with the New England area heading into the mid-Atlantic and as well as the eastern Ohio Valley. We're mainly talking rain and storms this March, and the reason why is because we're not necessarily going to see warm and cold air crashing into each other, because that happens more in the central United States and as well as the Ohio Valley. But for mainly New England, Mid-Atlantic, and the eastern Ohio Valley will be the areas that will mainly see rain, but there'll be some chances for storms, because any storms in this area could linger into this area too as well. But I think they're going to quickly die down and mainly turn into rain, but that's why I did put storms too as well, is because some of these storms could definitely be lingering into this area right here. So that's the forecast for New England, the Mid-Atlantic, and as well as the East Ohio Valley. Now let's head a little bit farther to the east or the west, okay? And as you guys can see, this includes the western Ohio Valley, so let's just say Indiana, southwest Michigan, southern Wisconsin, southern South Dakota, heading into all of Nebraska, all of Kansas, eastern Colorado, heading into much of Missouri, heading into much of Illinois, and as well as Kentucky too as well. So we do have an area that will need to be watching for tornadoes, severe storms, and that some high that I wrote that indicates that some severe weather threats will likely be high, and that includes an enhanced risk, a moderate risk, and maybe, just maybe, a high risk could get issued one of the days during the month of March, but I think we'll stay under a high risk just because of how significant those are. So we'll be watching for a potential severe weather outbreak across this area, so make sure to be weather aware if you do live in this area. And now let's go ahead and head a little bit to the north, okay? Because lots of these storm systems that do bring severe weather to this area, like I said, will likely have some snow on the northern side of it, because that's where cooler air usually is. And so that's why we're going to be talking maybe a few snowstorms across this area. And that mainly includes the northern part of the United States. So places pretty much west of Michigan, but in the northern part of the United States will likely have a chance for some snowfall, as we definitely do head into March. So it'll be like, I think the best chance for some snow will probably be early March, just because it's still kind of cold in these areas, but we could definitely be talking a brief snowstorm or cold snap during the later part of March. Let's go ahead and head a little bit farther down south now, and as you can see, this area right here that includes the southern half of Wyoming, heading into much of the western part of Colorado, heading into Utah, Nevada, and then California, southern Oregon, and then southern Idaho. Those areas will likely be seeing snowfall still continuing from now into March. Even the Sierra Nevadas will also be watching for some really good snowfall too as well. But I think there'll be a few times where we do warm up pretty good, and as those temperatures sometimes do get above freezing, and that will be mainly during the later half of March, I think we could see some flash flooding too as well. So that's why we will be talking snow and flash flooding. So it will kind of be like snow early and then flash flooding later, but we'll really have to be watching this area pretty closely for at least some flash flooding due to how much snowfall, especially in the Sierra Nevadas, because they're seeing feet of snow, which makes the ratio to about 12 inches of rainfall. So it's a pretty big amount of rainfall there in the Sierra Nevada. It's just snowfall and frozen. Now, if we head a little bit farther down to the south now, as you can see, for Southern California, Arizona, heading into New Mexico, maybe a little bit of Southern Utah, and as well as Southern Nevada, are all in for a few severe thunderstorms as we do head into the month of March. And then I do think it will be dry late, because I think as El Nino does die down into a neutral phase, we will most likely see that during the month of April. So as this dies down to a neutral phase, we will likely be drier compared to what we have been seeing in this area. So I don't know if it will be completely dry, but it definitely will be somewhat dry as we do head into the later part of March. So a few severe storms early, and then somewhat dry late. And then if we head a little bit farther to the east, this area is included in the threat for severe storms too as well, and we might even see a high risk get issued, and this mainly includes much of Texas heading into Oklahoma. So these areas will also be in play for the potential for severe thunderstorms, and as well as a high risk for severe weather being a possibility too as well. So this area is included in this area too as well. So this area will also be needing to be watching for a high risk for severe weather and a bunch of severe thunderstorms. Now, if we head a little bit farther to the east, okay, we expect this area to see less tornadoes, okay? That doesn't mean zero tornadoes, but less tornadoes, and the reason why is because as we do head into April, our waters up to the north will likely be warmer than normal, and I'm pretty sure that's almost how they are right now. So that's why we do expect less tornadoes across portions here of the deep south, and so this will definitely be still an area to watch for a few severe weather outbreaks, but not necessarily a whole lot of severe weather outbreaks compared to what we have been seeing across this area. But this will definitely still be an area to watch for, and that includes the south and the southeast. So make sure to be at least somewhat weather aware if you do live down here, but you don't need to be extremely weather aware, though, I don't think, because we do not expect a ton of tornadoes compared to what we have been seeing, like I said. So thank you guys very much for watching my March forecast. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you guys have any questions about how March could play out, or if you have anything to ask me about March, you can go ahead and leave that down in the comments if you guys want. But even if you don't have a question, you can still leave something like, I know we are going to be seeing severe storms during the month of March. So things like that, I am perfectly fine with you guys leaving down in the comments. You guys don't have to comment, but I would appreciate it if you guys would comment. So make sure you guys go ahead and comment down below. But thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll do one tomorrow.